With less than 50 days to go until the election, the polls are showing a very tight race. Harris was able to gain some marginal momentum after the debate by 1 or 2, or maybe even 3 in certain cases, points up on average. However, that is well in the margin of error, and Trump could very well also win the election. That's why today I'm going to be making my 2024 election day map prediction between former President Donald Trump and current Vice President Kamala Harris. Keep in mind, this map is not entirely based off the polls. However, polls will 100% play an impact. This is just how I think it's going to play out. And of course, you could have a different view on how it's going to play out on November 5th. This is just how I think it's going to play out. So without further ado, let's get into my 2024 election day map prediction. So let's first start off with the virtually safe states for each candidate. Let's first start with Harris, Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii, Illinois, Maine at large as well as this first district, Vermont, Connecticut, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Delaware, Maryland, Rhode Island, D.C., and New York. The safe states for Trump also include Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, 3rd at-large and 1st district, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alaska. Now the states that Harris will likely win: New Mexico, Colorado, and New Hampshire. Colorado and New Mexico both voted for Biden by double digits. I don't think there will be much of a shift there. Maybe the states will be a bit more Republican. I'll say Colorado will go for Harris by 8 or 9 or maybe even 10 points. And New Mexico, I'd say around 9 points too. And in New Hampshire, Hillary Clinton won it by a very small margin. Biden got it back into the likely column for the Democrats. It's kind of one of those border states between a likely and lean state. I still think Harris is going to win it by like 4.8 or 5 points. So I'm still going to put it as likely. She will probably win New Hampshire. Here are the likely states for Trump: Iowa, Ohio, Florida, and Texas. Iowa and Ohio are virtually the same state in terms of election analysis. They both backed Trump by 8 points in 2020 and virtually by the same result in 2016 as well. Same can be said for Texas and Florida. However, Texas did go more blue in 2020 than in 2016, but this year I think Trump will almost get back to his 2016 number. I say Trump wins Texas by around 7.8 or 7.9 points. Same can be said for Florida. Used to be a Battleground State, not really anymore. It's a firm Republican state. I have Trump winning it by around 6 or 7 points. And here are the lean states for Harris. I got Virginia and Minnesota as a lean state. I think Harris is going to win Minnesota by 5 or 4 points. The same margin can be said in Virginia too. I think she'll win it by maybe like 6.3 or something like that. If that happens, then it will be very close. We'll also go to our districts too. Trump will probably win Maine's 2nd district, as he won it in 2020 and 2016. However, due to Joe Biden's increase in rural support by 6 or 7 points on average, Trump was able to win it by a bit less of a margin in 2020, but still pretty comfortably. I say, again, Trump wins it by like 9 or 10 points, something like that. And in the Nebraska 2nd district, I think this will also be very close, again, with the increase in rural support for Biden. Again, Joe Biden got destroyed with rural voters, but he did better than Clinton did. So due to that, he was able to win Nebraska by almost 7 points. I still say Harris won't win it by that margin, but I still think she'll win it by 2 or 3. So this is a lead. Okay. Now into our 7 key battleground states. Let's first start with the bit of an outlier, North Carolina. I think Trump's going to win North Carolina. However, the cities are growing and the rural areas are shrinking. But again, I still think Trump will win it. So this is a tilt state for him. Now, this is where it really starts. I think, again, out of all these states, Harris has the best chance to win Michigan. Probably be very close. Probably be within a point or so. And, yeah. Now let's go to Wisconsin. I think the polls are going to overestimate Wisconsin again, like they did in 2020. Wisconsin was a very close state. It is the definition of a swing state. Literally, in 2016, it voted for Trump by like 0.8 points, and when it voted for Biden by 0.7. That is literally the definition of a swing state. I still think Trump's going to win it. The reason why Biden probably won it again is because his increase in rural support. Again, I keep saying the same thing. He got blown out, but he did better than Hillary Clinton did. I'm going to put Wisconsin as a tilt state, and I will stand by that. Now we're going to get into Arizona. I actually think Harris will win Arizona, and here's why. Democrats have, in general, been doing very well in Arizona. Ruben Diego, the Senate candidate, is up by a pretty decent margin. Harry Lake. Democrats, in general, have been doing pretty well in Arizona, so I'm going to give this a very tilt state to Harris. I think Harris may win it by around the same margin that Biden did, maybe 0.2 point. Very close race. Anyways, let's get into Nevada. All the pointers say Trump will win Nevada. However, I think this actually could be one of the closest states. Joe Biden won it by virtually the same margin as Hillary Clinton. Actually a bit less, but not really by a lot less. But Republicans have been doing very well. Joe Lombardo defeated the incumbent Steve Sisolak, which, by the way, incumbents have around a 70% chance to win re-election. And also, they almost unseated a reasonably popular Catherine Cortez Master in the Senate race. All these pointers say Nevada will be a nail-biter, but it will probably go to Trump. Here, now, these are the two battleground states. We got Georgia and Pennsylvania. I'm going to first start with Pennsylvania. Very close state again. But the reason why Biden won Pennsylvania, a big reason why, is he won Erie County, the bellwether county in Pennsylvania. I think Erie will go to Trump by maybe not as much as 2016, but by around the same margin that Biden won it. I'd say like 0.8 in Erie County. And Trump is going to win Pennsylvania by a very narrow margin. I'm going to say like 0.2 or something like that. That puts Trump exactly at 270, Harris at 252. Now, here we go, Georgia. I think Georgia is a turnout game. If Harris gets a lot of Latino voters, black voters in that Atlanta metro area, then she has a real chance to win Georgia. However, if they're not showing out at the same turnout as they did in 2020 and it's more closer to 2016, then Harris probably will not win Georgia. It's a turnouts game. But if it's reasonably close to 2020, then I think Harris has a legit shot to win. Maybe even less than Biden's margins. But with that, I don't think she'll get as much minority turnout in Atlanta. I think she'll get more than Hillary Clinton. I think somewhere in between Biden and Harris's margins in Georgia. I still think Trump will win Georgia by a very narrow margin. And yeah, my post-debate 2024 map election prediction. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.